Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video is a quick top 10 of my best ultra rares in Attack on Titan 1. This is just off of reading the cards, and I haven't played with a lot of these. So it's more like just reading it and doing some theory crafting in my brain. So let's get into the list. We'll start with attacks. First one is High Velocity Slice. It's a 5 difficulty 3 check, 4 high 5. Breaker 1 stun 1, +2 high block with weapon keyword. Blitz. This is the only attack in your key in your card pool. Get a momentum. Deadlock Blitz. This attack gets +1 to your stun rating for each of your momentum. As a lead, this card's fantastic. It gives us stun 1 if we have multiple. It gets us a momentum to fuel its it's deadlock if we're, if a deadlock blitz, if our opponent's in deadlock, but it gets us a momentum. So we can lead up with something like a powerful or an EX or an echo attack. Like I could see this being played in like Vex, a Vexalia, because it gets us a momentum for our Storm of Arrows, since this isn't just a weapon, because we can clear this with some other card, and then we can play the Storm of Arrows to get them, and use the momentum. Obviously, Levi comes to mind when I see this. I'm not sure if Macasalis will play this, just because it's a 5 diff, and she likes to play all 4s. But I can also see Jean playing this. I wouldn't, the applications on this card is kind of nuts, because it has a nice defensive ability. If you can pump the stun on it, man, why doesn't Toga 3 not? Why can't Toga 3 have air as well, right? Even though she has three of her symbols in this set. So let's move on to the next card. Determined Advance, 6 difficulty 3 check, +1 mid, 6 mid for 6. EX3 Fury ranged. This attack speed cannot be reduced, and damage cannot be reduced below printed. Blitz. Add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Here's another one of these momentum getters. So let's just say we are playing like Jean, right? Like we play this, get our momentum. We clear it with like get in, get out, or say it's full blocked, so we clear it with battlefield aid, and then we drop Determined Advance on a 6. We have EX3, which John gives 3 speed, but we really want to change the zone to like low, so we can really hit our opponent. But we also get the momentum back, which is really cool. But yeah, like the fact that this can't be reduced below printed speed and damage means you need to block it on a 7 base most of the time, unless you have +0s, which there are only like a few in Attack on Titan, and outside of characters, there's a few cards in the previous sets that will allow you to do that. But man, it's going to be a pain in the butt. So you're probably, more often than not, chunking 6. Hopefully your opponent doesn't have a way to add damage to this. Next card is Swarm by Titans. It's a 5 difficulty 3 check, +1 high block, 5 high 5. Breaker 1 again, pretty sick. Deadlock stun 2, Fury, Blitz. Your next check this turn gets +X. X equals your momentum +1. So hey, guess what? We have a momentum here. And then we got a momentum here. And now we got this. Granted, we kind of, when I did the crossover show with Universus and Tim Keefe Satonis, we brought this card up. And we really need this card to pay off, right? Like we want +3, +4 to our checks. So this really isn't like a slam 4 into a deck. It's more of probably slam 2 to 3, and then you play it like late game or like mid game, late game to extend your turn to land that last attack. Next one is one of the big attacks, Ravages of War. This card is insane. It's an 8 difficulty 4 check, +2 high block, 8 high 8 Titan. And then it says, Blitz, your rival discards 1 card, sacrifices a foundation, and spends a momentum. That could be debilitating on turn 2. Like, if you go first, and let's say you check a 5 on this, you commit 3, you're debuilding your opponent down 1. So if they didn't build more than 3, they're sitting at 2 foundations, so they're probably not blocking this. They get rid of a card in hand, and then they also have to spend a momentum, so that's not the big deal. The issue is the card in hand. A lot of decks are going to be playing Barrier Shield to combat the big stat attacks, and usually it's Barrier Shield on one of their cards. They can't Barrier Shield. If they can Barrier Shield, they're just not going to be able to block it. Next is Unexpected Outcomes. It's a 9 difficulty 4 check, plus 1 mid, 10 mid for 8. Titan, Blitz. Your rival reveals their hand. You remove an attack revealed this way. After this attack resolves, you may flip it and try to play it as a copy of the removed card as your next form. I pity the fool that has this used against them, and the card they rip is Rejuvenate Smash, because I don't want my opponent drawing more cards. That's crazy. Plus, it's also a good way just to yeet an attack out of your rival's hand, and then just like you don't even have to play it. Like you can just deal with this 10 mid 8. You hit, cool. I don't have to play that attack if I don't want to, but I might. Why not? It's free. So yeah, it's a really good one. So now moving on to foundations, we got Get In, Get Out. We talked about this in my Bakugo 4 list that came out earlier this week. It's a 2 difficulty, 5 check, unique, plus 2 mid block. This card can't be flipped by rival effects, so get wrecked, Reiner. And then form Sacrifice. If you have exactly 1 attack in your card pool, clear it. Air Shtick, this set is just clearing card pools. It's a mass exodus of cards out of the card pool. Like, we want to go home, so we're getting out of here. It's a good card. Worst part about it is it's unique, but is it really if you sacrifice it and build another one or rebuild it from your discard pile? Another unique card in Sins of the Past, 2 difficulty, 5 check, plus 2 low block response. After you play this card, remove one card from your rival's discard pile. So you could, play this, have one in your stage, block with it. So it actually is a really good, it has plus 2 low, so it actually is a really good block on it. So it wouldn't be that bad to play at least 2 copies in your deck. Plus, you want to get rid of risky maneuvers and combined firepowers, and any other way your opponent can play cards out of their discard pile. One of the better foundations in the set, Sacrifice for the Cause. So we got these 5. I guess all these foundations are better. These are the cream of the crop, per se. Sacrifice for the Cause, 3 difficulty, 5 check, plus 3 high block. Enhance, discard a card. This attack gets X damage. X equals the block modifier of the discarded card. You get half of Genkai's ability, which is kind of sick. You don't get the minus damage. I probably think they probably could have done that, but I don't think Fire Shtick... every symbol got some DR in this set, but again, on the flip side, response Sacrifice after your rival plays an ability that reduces damage of your attack, cancel it, so protect its own damage. I really think it probably could have been a flip and not Sacrifice, just because there are other cards in the format that just flip to cancel it. So why not? This could have been it too. This is one of my personal favorites. Uplifting Bond, 3 difficulty, 5 check, plus 3 high. Response, once per turn. After you play an attack, gain a health. If that attack deals damage, it does not count towards progressive difficulty this turn. So your rival technically has to deal with your attack. They can't just eat it, because that means you're just playing on, it doesn't ignore progressive. So let's say you attack, do something, attack, do something. Let's say you play attack, and then you play Midst of Despair, and it hits, so your next attack ignores progressive, and then you stack this on the next attack, or you stack this on the Midst, more than likely. Because one, it's after you play an attack, so you gain the 1, and then Midst gets its speed. And then also you'd have 2 cards that don't count towards progressive in your pool. Well, you'd have that one, and then the next one wouldn't. It would ignore progressive when playing. And then if you have another Uplifting Bond, because it's not unique, you could keep stacking them and just keep stringing stuff out. The theory crafting of those cards is kind of crazy. And my favorite foundation out of the set is Fortify Walls. Yeah, I know it's a wall counter card, but I say otherwise. It's a 2 difficulty, 5 check, plus 2 high block. At the end of this turn, add a wall counter. So that means you play it, you bring it down, your turn ends. Because your end phase is you build everything at your end phase. Your turn is over after your end phase is done. Your turn is over. So it gets 1 wall counter the minute you play it. And then flip, remove all wall counters from this card to another. May not come into a lot of play unless you're playing a wall counter character. But this bottom enhance is worth playing. Enhance, remove all wall counters from this card. This attack gets -1 speed for each counter removed this way. So you can just stockpile counters for when you really need a -X speed. So your rival has to do one of two things. One, deal with this card, or deal with everything else around it, and just let you have this. It's a bad situation either way. And then I would also think you would probably play raise walls with this too. That's the action that gains a wall counter as a form and draws a card, or it blocks. It blocks on block. It gets rid of shift and draws a card. So either way, on a +2 mid block, I think most people are going to be playing that. One, because it's a cycle card for free, and you draw a card on defense, which is always good. And I kind of wasn't too sure if I wanted to include these 4 difficult. These are more. These 5 attacks are like my, if it fits the gimmick. So like Armored Titan attacks, Attack Titan attacks, Jaw Titan attacks, which is one of my favorites. This one's in the list just because it's a 6/4. It's stupid stats. 606, gain 2. The backside's kind of cool because it kind of screws over Ghidorah if they use if they can gain health on your turn, which is kind of difficult to do, which they don't usually. So I don't know, if it comes up, it can stop Ghidorah somehow. But yeah, but they have to gain, okay, here we go. So if it's the Void version and they block with a Rejuvenating Smash, you cancel that. And then you kill them because they can't gain health. They can't go back to 10. They said because it says they gain 10 health or something like that. I think is how it goes. Increased hostility is just a good 3 diff in Woman, Bionic Menace, Mechagodzilla, Aaron, Endeavor 3, the fire characters that you're going to be able to manipulate or remove from game pile. This is going to get slapped in. In Woman, this is like a 6 low for a Gabillion. I have no idea. It's insane. It's crazy in her. And then Rallied Assault's a kind of a pet card for a lot of people. It's kind of it's better Heroes Clash because it's just spend a momentum, you clear everything. No one draws cards, but you get speed and damage for it, which is sick. So that's what I think about the top 10 ultra rares in the set with 5 extras. So let me know in the comments below what your 5-ish favorite ultra rares are. I want to know how close I am to the community. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, take care.